have two 2023 Volvos. I have the XC90 and the S90. The XC90 has had no issues, and the S90 has had two warranty issues. One was the O2 sensor check engine light came on. Oh boy, my wife was thrilled to see that light come on, I can tell you that. Brand new car. And here it is, 2025, so the car is technically 3 years old, because really we bought it when it first came out. So that was O2 sensor, and now we had the 12-volt battery go out on it. So I'm going to talk both good and bad about the dealership. Normally we go to Charlottesville, which is an hour drive for us, to do our normal oil change, maintenance, anything under warranty, whatever, we go there. However, with drivability issues, I have to go to the local dealer. He's about 30 minutes away through town, and I really dislike going there. So there it is, our new 12-volt battery. Can you tell it's new? They did an okay job. This is a little twisted maybe. It was a little bit flatter, but I cannot see any tool marks or anything. They didn't really destroy any plastic, scratch, or do anything as far as, you know, just being a mechanic. I mean, crap, I've worked on cars since the 70s, you know, your tool drops, your screwdriver scratches paint, you know. Things happen, but they did a good job. Nice, clean, brand new battery. Let me tell you what happened. Wife gets in the car, battery warning light comes on, two of them. She didn't know to press the OK button to get to the second one, but that's okay. I'll show you here on the screen. So I get out my battery tester and I test the battery. It's showing 12 volts, but it's failing the test. You know, when you push the button and it puts a load on it, runs the voltage through some resistors, and it drops down, and it said it was weak. So I told her, oh, you can drive it. She said, no, I'm taking the XC90. So off she went with the XC90. Threw the battery charger on it. Yes, that's Sears going back in time. Shoot. I can't even tell you when I bought that thing, maybe the 70s. Put a charge on it, take it to the dealership. Now, I will admit that putting a charge on the battery before taking it to the dealer probably screwed me over. Because I took it to the dealer and they did an FBC, free battery check. So FBC is free battery check. So, big whoop. Came back, said it was fine, drove it around. He said for 4 miles, said it was fine. They also did the recall on it. Recall, that's Volvo's number, R10320. That is the recall for backup camera, which I had no issues with. It was working fine, so, you know, it hadn't failed yet. However, they're calling it a backover prevention. In case you didn't know, if you're about to hit something and you're in reverse, the car will stop itself. Every once in a while I'll go over a threshold, you know, sort of like a speed bump, but not really a speed bump, just something really low to the ground, like backing into the garage, let's say, and the car will just slam on the brakes and stop, and alarm will go off and it'll tell you, hey, you almost hit something. But anyway, so they put this recall in it. However, I don't have to go to the dealer for any of my other cars because it is going to be sent over the air, OTA, if you know about that. However, there are some older vehicles. Here's a 2021 XC40. I don't think they're over the air yet. I didn't think over the air started in 2021. But anyway, so, you know, you'll be notified. They're sending out a notification depending on when you're watching this video. They are sending it out in June 24th, 2025 is when they're going to send everybody a piece of paper in the mail. So anyway, so they put that in there and said it was fixed. Of course it wasn't fixed. I get in the car, and what's going on? Well, let me throw it up on the screen here, because it's slightly different. The turtle isn't there anymore. So they're saying the battery is so low that the car needs to be stopped immediately. Notice how it's different from the first pic I showed you. No little turtle. Now, when I talked to the Mercedes dealer and the BMW dealer, they both said they've been having this issue too. So this is on the European vehicles. I would assume all the other ones that are like this too, as far as BMWs, SUVs, and Mercedes SUVs and whatnot. They're all the 48 12-volt system. The 12-volt starts the vehicle and runs all of the vehicle sensors when the engine is stopped. You know, you come to a stop, the pistons stop going up and down, and the car's just sitting there waiting. You'll notice in the summertime, all of a sudden it'll come back on again. That's because you're running the air conditioner and it needs the compressor. So, how do you know it's a battery? Because that battery is charged by the 48-volt battery in the back, not an alternator voltage regulator. So that was fun. So we take it back on a Sunday, and I write a nasty note on the little key envelope that you throw into the box, you know, and said, hey, thanks for not fixing my car. I didn't say that. I was nice and mean both at the same time. But I was really upset. So they come back the next time and they do the normal car wash, multi-point inspection. Then they said, customer brought vehicle in last week for battery issue and WAM rebate. Could not find any problems at the time as there were no trouble codes or warning lights on. Well, again, I'm saying that's probably my fault because I threw a charge on there. The second time it wouldn't take a charge, and I had to drive it to the dealer, and I was sweating the whole time. I went a route where I run into the fewest stoplights, and there was only one situation where I came to a stoplight where I was probably going to have to actually stop, go to 0 miles an hour. So what I did was I just kept my foot on the gas and kept the engine going. Plus it was bucking and kicking and missing, you know, it was just misfiring. It was just insane to drive it to the dealer. I mean, clearly I should have towed it, but, you know, I thought I could make it, and I did. So the 12-volt battery warning message is on, and the performance of the engine was reduced. Boy, was it ever reduced. So they put a new battery in there. So what did they say? They wrote up and said, 12-volt battery, verified concern, check codes found CEMB18711B, primary battery high resistance direction in 48-volt vehicles. General electrical failures. Oh yeah, I had a bunch of electrical failures, a bunch. Basically, the engine compartment was not communicating. I mean, with the car bucking and kicking, it had to be like the cam sensor and other things. And actually, I don't know if the stop-start feature was disabled when I was having all these problems. Now, I didn't want to take any chances, so, you know, I kept the engine running, but I think it would have not gone into stop-start mode, but I was sweating it. I didn't want to break down in the middle of the road and call a tow truck because then police are involved and all that crap. Circuit resistance above threshold, did a fault trace, did battery acceptance test, failed code, and look at this code, unbelievable. I've never seen a code like that before. K3D2EAQ4FA30T3A-EN0H3E6BG34ZF. Come on, man. What the heck? Recommended replace 12-volt battery. And they put a new battery in it, but are you ready for this? Guess how much it would have cost if this was out of warranty? $744.06 to put in a battery and clear the codes. Now you need to understand that you just don't throw a battery in these cars anymore. The battery has to be mated to the vehicle. So you need Volvo's VIDA system. It's VIDA DICE. Two different things, V-I-D-A and D-I-C-E. So anyway, you know, you got to mate it to the car. I don't know what happens if you just throw a battery in there, if it'll work, and if it does work, I'm sure you'll get a message or a code or something, I'm sure. What do I know? So, got all that done, and just thought I would communicate it with you. When you start seeing those messages, you're going to need a new 12-volt battery. And you do not have to look over here to see if the belt's on and it's being charged, because guess what? There's no alternator. That's not an alternator. That's not a voltage regulator. So there you go. It's charged from the 48-volt battery in the back, not an alternator voltage regulator. So there was my experience with the local dealer. You know, what are you gonna do? All dealers, I don't care, BMW, Mercedes, Volvo, Chevy, it doesn't matter. If you take your car in and there's no fault codes, they aren't just going to willy-nilly replace it, especially under warranty. I can guarantee you that one. So, you know, they were both good and bad. They were bad because, well, he didn't know me. The service manager was brand new. You know, going way back in time, another person owned it and I knew him personally, and if I brought the car in, whether it was a Saturday or anything, you know, they helped me. Now, you know, it's new people, they don't know me. They have procedures, they're going to follow them. You know, there were no codes. And I screwed up by charging the battery up a little bit so I could get it there. So, what can I say? So, if you need a new 12-volt battery, you're going to really run into a whole lot of issues. Well, that's my video for now. Thank you for watching.